Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Abnormal Voyages. My name is David, and today we find ourselves in Capitan, New Mexico. We're here today to explore the origins of one of the most famous bears of all time, Smokey the Bear.
We're going to a place that you've never heard of before. It's Abnormal Voyages. You're gonna learn something new. We're gonna open new doors. It's Abnormal Voyages.
Famous the world over for being the symbol of forest fire prevention, many people are not aware that Smokey the Bear was an actual living bear. The story of this icon begins in 1950 in the Capitan Mountains of New Mexico. One of the operators spotted smoke and called out the location of a huge fire that had started. It began to sweep up and down the trees, burning everything in sight. Forest rangers from all over came to try and help put the fire out. As they worked furiously to put out the flames, they noticed that there was a lone bear cub who was seen wandering around the fire line. They were hoping that the mother would return and take him off to safety, but unfortunately, the mother never showed up. As the fire roared by, the little cub climbed up into a tree that had become completely charred. He escaped with his life, but he also had badly burned paws and legs. The crew decided to take the cub from the tree and bring him home with them. After a little bit of teamwork, the Rangers managed to get the little bear cub to Santa Fe, where they were able to help heal up his wounds and get him bandaged. The story of this little bear captivated the imagination of people throughout New Mexico and soon nationwide. People were writing in from all over asking about the cub's recovery and how he was doing. The state game warden actually offered to donate the bear to the Forest Service. However, the only way he would agree to do it is if the cub would be used in a conservation effort so that no other animals would hopefully have to go through the same kind of wildfire damage that this little guy had been through. Soon enough, the cub was on his way to a new home at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C., and he became the living symbol named Smokey Bear. During his time at the zoo, thousands upon thousands of visitors flocked to see this adorable bear. Not only that, but they sent him so many gifts of honey and letters to read that he actually had to have his own zip code to handle all the mail that was coming in. He was a very, very loved and spoiled bear until his death in 1976. At the peak of his popularity in the 1950s, a popular song actually came out, and to maintain the rhythm of the song, they added the word "the" between Smokey and Bear, which caused many people to come to know him as Smokey the Bear. But technically, his name has never changed, and he's always been Smokey Bear. The history behind preventing forest fires is actually pretty interesting in itself. It goes all the way back to World War II, when they realized that any kind of incendiary explosions that happened could easily ignite and cause huge fires throughout forests. So, in order to cut down on that, they figured if they could teach the citizens to be a little more responsible, maybe there'd be fewer fires to have to worry about. Around this time, Bambi from the Walt Disney Company had become very popular, and the Walt Disney Company actually agreed to lend their characters to a campaign to encourage people to love and take care of the forest. However, that loan only lasted for about a year, so the forest industry had to come up with their own symbol. Luckily, that was the same time that Smokey Bear came into their lives, and he was a massive hit, and is now known throughout the world as a symbol of responsibility and preventing fires. Just the fact that we still know about Smokey Bear today shows just how big an impact he caused, reaching throughout the decades to become a timeless, ageless icon. Taking a look at this poster, you could see different similar icons that he has inspired from all over the world, such as the Canadian beaver who helps prevent forest fires, but none of them really took off quite as much as old Smokey. Honestly, at this point, Smokey has been used in pretty much any medium you can think of. He's been on hot air balloons, billboards, posters, TV commercials, radio songs, anything you can think of. Smokey's been there with his forest friends, teaching everyone how to better take care of our planet. Smokey Bear is actually seen as such an important American figure that Congress passed an act where they removed Smokey from the public domain and placed him under the control of the Secretary of Agriculture. The act now provides for the use of collected royalties and fees for continued wildlife prevention education. So any money that comes from his image goes right back into promoting his message, which I think is pretty cool. They've done a fantastic job at this museum of collecting as many pieces as they possibly can of Smokey Bear images, of the different memorabilia out there. There was just so much to see and take in. It's hard to believe that this guy has been a part of our culture for honestly close to 100 years at this point. He's been around since the early 1940s, so he's been around longer than most pop icons that you know of. Additionally, something that I think would make Smokey Bear very happy, they have an entire section of the museum that is dedicated to what else, learning a little bit about fire ecology and how it interacts with the forest and the circle of life. Though fires are commonly a bad thing when it comes to woods, they're also a necessary thing at times. That way, old plants can be burned off so that new life is able to find a way through to keep propagating the forest. Guests can stroll through here and learn the differences between a natural wildfire versus one that's caused by man, and the different ways that firefighters and park rangers fight to put those fires out. This was a map of the original fire where they found Smokey Bear. It's easy to see that Smokey the Bear has a special place in many people's hearts. This quilt behind me is actually made out of letters that were sent in by children and adults from all over, all honoring and claiming their love for Smokey the Bear. You could easily spend an entire day at this museum and you'd walk away having learned a whole lot. One of the coolest parts is that you could walk into this nice little hallway here showing more Smokey Bear images, and then in the middle of the room they had a nice TV set up that showed you different documentaries talking about Smokey Bear and the local woods and fire prevention. Why not kick back and learn a thing or two? The fact that Smokey Bear can still inspire people today is a true testament to just how beloved and effective this icon truly is. Then you step outside, and just a few steps away from the museum, in a very peaceful area of the forest, with nice water flowing and trees abundantly growing, we have the final resting place of Smokey the Bear. After a long life of being well loved, Smokey returned here to the woods where he was found so that he could lay in peace in the forest that he loved so much, and hopefully he was reunited with his mother that he lost on that fiery day. But in the end, at least some real good came of it for the entire world. Well, that's all from Smokey and I for today. My name is David, and this has been Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for tagging along. And remember, only you can prevent forest fires. We'll see you next time.